Hey, yo, it's Daeni, and today we are doing another episode of Random Theory because it is Tuesday. I'm going to share with you my random thoughts throughout the day, and you already know how this works. You can leave your feedback down in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe, do what you need to do. Help support my channel. The first thing I want to talk about is Biden. My man just said he's going to seek military-grade weapons on American citizens. Like, I mean, he didn't say he was going to do it explicitly, but he kind of cued to that, saying that what good are firearms, AR-15s and AK-47s going to do against fighter jets? I'm like, bro, that is just ridiculous. This isn't the first thing that Biden has said that was basically just outlandish and straight up disrespectful to the American citizens. So right now, where should we be with this presidency? Because it seems to me that the media is picking what they want to talk about. And if anyone else, and you know what I mean when I say anyone else, was to say what this man said, it would have definitely been almost like a World War III. They're still talking about the Capitol riots at this point. And now, these dogs are now the worst. Now, no, come on. They're puppies, guys. You gotta bear with me. Come on, let's go. Obi, look at this guy. He's not even listening. Obi, let's go. They're on their training leashes today because guess what? It is Tuesday, and normally on Tuesdays, I like to let them have a little bit of free roam. That's all a part of the training. But anyway, like I said, anyone else has said this, and you know what I mean when I say if anyone else said this, it would have been almost the end of civilization as we know it. A lot of people that were talking in the past are very quiet now, and in all honesty, it's kind of disturbing. Hey, use the bathroom, mama? You keep on going into people's property. No. Hey, no, we don't eat banana skins. Come in. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So, get out of the way of this. I'm just thinking right now, that's the first thing that came to my mind this Tuesday morning. How wild and how less oblivious a lot of people are. No. A lot of people are when it comes to the rhetoric that this man is spewing. Taking away the Second Amendment is literally the dismantleization of the U.S. Constitution, because let's face it, even if they stop you from saying whatever you want and they can stop you from worshiping your religion, if you can't protect yourself, you're basically at the mercy of these politicians who at the same time are protected 24/7, or not 24/7. Well, yeah, 24/7, right? I don't know if they got security. Like, leave a comment down below, but they definitely do have the Capitol well fortified. So tell me what you think about it down below. Now let's talk about the ATF. Nisi, say what up. She black. Look, the point is, the ATF, they had one job, and I honestly think that hold on, this fan sounds like a straight up turbine. They failed. They dropped the ball, guys. When they should have been doing their job, the ATF wasn't ATFing, and therefore they FTU'd. You know what I'm saying? Now nobody likes them and nobody wants to support them. There's alcohol going. Everybody drink as much alcohol as they want. They smoke as much tobacco and tobacco-related materials. But when it comes to guns, it's like, oh, you can't have bazookas. You can't have machine guns. You got to get special permits. It's crazy because you could go to this liquor store and buy any grade of liquor you want, down to sprinters to straight up hard flammable alcohol. They failed. So now they're talking about everybody just want them gone because now a majority of people are getting guns, I guess. And in their mind's eye, they're like, hey, why is the ATF telling us what to do? I mean, drugs, the same way that illegal guns are in the streets, there's illegal alcohol. No one talks about that. And there's illegal drugs still being sold and used. So, she's not talking to me. The point is that I say this to say that they failed in doing the basic to maintain good employment. Therefore, if the ATF was to go under, and I don't think they should, I think they should just be redirected into being more constructive individuals. It'll be pretty sad, but I definitely understand why they had to go. I mean, you know, a lot of people felt like they were, how can I say, belittled by the organization. belittled. They felt belittled by the organization. Therefore, the only way to reverse this great wrong is to remove them completely from the face of this earth. A lot of people also say that some of the workers are cool, but when you support an organization that doesn't really support the people it's supposed to be protecting, you kind of start walking on thin ice. Who's that, Jack?
No.
Zay the Tere. She's aggressive, man. She don't get what she wants. It becomes a whole thing, right? Anyway, with that said, what else is on the plate? Why don't people use knives and like hot sauce or mace? I think that those are things that should be spoken on when you're talking about self-protection. A lot of people, they will advocate for weapons like guns, but they don't really talk about alternative options. Everyone that carries a gun should at least have mace. Knife is optional because a knife can be very effective and do a lot of damage in a small amount of time. Therefore, a lot of people who carry mace are actually in a better place than people who just exclusively carry guns, because a lot of the threats that you are going to face in your daily activities doesn't necessarily require 2A type altercations. You do not need to kill someone in most cases when you're going on your day-to-day activities. Therefore, the mic isn't on, by the way. Therefore, when people are out here and they only, I feel more confident with the mic though. What do you say? I feel like I am in my element when I am on this mic, even if it's not on. So when people are like, oh yeah, I have a gun. You can't, because killing someone isn't exactly like a walk in the park. Regardless of what they're doing, it's never fun, because taking someone's life is a big thing. It's a major step. And a lot of people do not understand that. People, in my mind, they'll probably kill like a roach or an insect and they'll be like, well, taking life really ain't that hard. I don't know, like subconsciously, no one actively thinks about that, I believe. But I believe that they also think that taking a human life, even in self-defense, they'll sleep better at night or whatever. No, this thing, there's a lot of trauma involved. And macing someone and sending them to jail can be more comforting to most people. Most people, especially if you never really encountered any type of like life and death type of violence. The mace could definitely deter a lot of people, because a lot of criminals probably have guns. And now this isn't facts. It's just an opinion. They might have guns, but they might not have the ammo. They might not have the right ammo. They might be a lot more crimes are committed with like sharp objects. And mace, gives you that distance. Some maces can shoot at least, 10 feet? 10 feet or 6 to 10 feet. So, make sure you do your research thoroughly before you purchase any type of hot sauce. So for intermediate distances, a mace can actually provide a lot of options. They got fog maces, they got stream maces, they got sprays. I mean, like, what do you think? Because I'm thinking that we need to talk about alternative options. People shouldn't just carry a gun and train with their gun. You should also train with your mace. Make sure that your mace is up to date. Make sure that it's not out of date. Make sure that, the liquid that you have in it, you've experienced it. You know what it will do to you and your assailants. Don't just assume that once you spray it only goes in one direction and no one else has to suffer the consequences of whatever actions were committed at the time of the, usage of the hot sauce or the mace. So, take that into consideration. Tell me what you think below. I think that people, they buy a lot of EDC stuff like for self-protection, but they don't really train with it. Lately, more people have been training with guns, but I still don't think they understand the mental consequences that come with using a firearm. And more people are suited to deal with what mace can do to someone versus a actual gun. So, yeah. Jack is the newest member of the family, and like most things, when they're young, they're relatively useless. I believe that everyone should have an animal that they can train, especially if they're going to have them in the house. Now, my cat isn't a guard cat or anything to the capacity. Hey, stop yelling. Stop yelling. But the dogs are puppies. They're about a month old. No, they're about 3 months old, actually. They're going to be 4 months coming on the 14th of July. And I am training them to get used to the dynamics of this family and the things that we do, so that when there is any type of disturbance in the house, they can be effective and useful. Therefore, what do you think? Is it easier to buy a dog that's already trained, or is it easier to like train the dog yourself, or you guys just have a dog for the intimidation factor, and it actually don't do anything at all. Because a lot of people have dogs, but they're not really dogs. They're just dog type like people. They do things like people. They don't really protect you from anyone, and you're hoping in times of a crisis that these dogs will actually be more. And I had to get out of there. The kids are getting too loud. Yeah, I think dogs should be useful and not useless. So if you're gonna get a puppy, you should probably train them to like defend you from crime, because you know it's not fair for us, you know, logical adults knowing the threats, to assume that our pets should know what's a threat and what's not a threat. You have to train your animals. You got to train them, and a good part of home defense. And I would like to say, in my theory, that a well-trained dog is actually more important than a gun, like if you have the options, because you know, time buy you options, and realistically I'd rather get away and be safe or get the heads up on a threat than to like react to it immediately and within like 2 to 3 minutes, because while it is still time, that's my standard, 2 to 3 minutes, but some people have to do it instantaneously. These things happen in like 30 seconds. These things happen in like 30 intense seconds, and you could go from, you know, I could go from laying in my bed nice and calm to someone trying to commit a home invasion. So what I'm saying is, like, if the dogs are out, they already know, you know. In fact, it's expected for a dog to bark. So if the dog is trained and it knows to bark at strangers and they're on your property, it'll help you out in the long run, because realistically, you know, most of our gear, even if it's in a ready position, you still got to get to it. And you might be in the middle of something that you can't really react as fast. So what do you think down below? Let me know. Well-trained dogs, is that a thing or not? Oh, I forgot. And they are coming up with even more laws to restrict our second right, or our two-way rights, okay? There are so many gun laws on the table right now. Like, it makes free speech and freedom of religion look like a walk in the park. I mean, like, what is the beef with law-abiding citizen owning firearms? Why does the government hate citizens that can protect themselves? You know, I mean, like, but they are willing to have the most protection for themselves. It's kind of ironic that, like I said in earlier, that the Capitol gets rioted once, and I think to date they still have soldiers protecting the Capitol.
Guys, Sam pooped on the kitchen.
Wow. Wow. Like, quote unquote unregistered weapons in this country, because it's getting to the point where it's just so ridiculous that, you know, to comply seems unrealistic, right? You basically be dooming yourself to a vulnerable position with the same government that's supposed to be protecting you. The two-way, it's a law that they created. Now they want to, it's like no takebacks, right? They want to give you the law, they want to give you the right, then they want to take it back, because in their mind they're like, well, we don't want you to use your rights to protect yourself against us, so we're gonna take it away. Not to mention, there's other states or other countries that are extremely jealous of the fact that hey, what's up? Let me see.
I was just I get it.
That are jealous of our, definitely our, like, vast amount of firearms that we are capable of having in this country so far. And, you know, that number is being limited every day. So I believe that we need to do something, and we need to be more aggressive with the Second Amendment, because if we don't, we're going to look like these other countries. And what makes America unique is no longer going to be there. And we're going to start looking very similar to some of these countries that we know nothing about. Like, we don't know anything about the way that some of these countries operate, yet we use them as the shining example of what the standard should be. The standard is whatever the Constitution is in this country. Therefore, the laws that they're creating to infringe on our Second Amendment is actually insulting. It's insulting, because why? Why? We're law-abiding citizens, registered gun owners home taxpayers, homeowners, like employers, employees pay like taxes. We do all these things, and yet they're finding ways to take money back from us because they don't want us to like own specific firearms. That's weird. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. All right, man. I think I'm going to end it here because the day is getting a little bit shorter and I got a lot of stuff to do. So thank you for watching. Remember to hit that like and that subscribe. You could also share this video because, you know, a lot of people need to know that a lot of folks in the 2A community believe in the safety of firearm use and knowledge-based training. All right, I believe in it, even though sometimes when I get on here and I share my thoughts with you guys, it's not kind of fact-based, you know, so you guys correct me down below. Thank you for watching. 1.